Hello everybody, my name is John Rodriguez Jr. My father's a senior, of course, and in this video presentation I'd like to discuss a lot of certain topics that we have been going through in class actually. But definitely the topics of code switching and defining groups that a lot of languages are actually based on actually. I'm actually partially fluent in 2 languages and I'm working on my 3rd actually, but hopefully I'll learn 4 languages. But for 2 of them, for one, I definitely use sometime a few times, but I should practice in a good regular basis so I can be aware of this concept. And the other, I definitely use on a regular basis is my fluent language, and I use it every day of my life. But in the first language, or the second language, I definitely belong in a few defining groups like Digilosa and also some code switching I do. And I didn't realize this until we've got further discussion of this topic. And in this presentation, I'd like to actually show you a video animation of myself, thanks to Bitstrips, how I use the presentations on a regular basis in different varieties and different ways and different defining groups I go to or I'm a part of. So here we are. So this is how I use code switching and defining groups for every day of my life conversations, basically. Since I'm in everyday society, I use anything I can depending on the circumstance. I use high-level conversations on certain circumstances or events, and I use low-level conversations when I'm more relaxed, more comfortable, and more open. So I speak 2 languages. The first, of course, is modern-day English. Et la deuxième, je parle français, mais bien sûr, comment allez-vous, enchanté. So I use the high variety of modern-day English in a lot of situations, even a little French. I use it in school when I take my classes and my courses. I use it when I do creative activities such as projects, essays, or for school or for my personal reasons. Dans mon cours de français, je parle français très bien. I use it when I do fine dining. I use etiquette and good vocabulary. I even use it when I go shopping, like in definition like Armani or Express. I know my definitions. I also use it when I do errands or run business or have an interview. I especially use it when I work on my music. I am very formal, especially when I work on my singing. Et moi aussi, je chante en français pour l'opéra. And of course, I use it for high society culture events as going to the opera or ballet. And I especially use it when I go to church masses every Sunday. Now to think of it, I'm actually a very classy guy. Huh, who knew? But I'm also very informal when it comes to certain situations, so I use the informal way as well. I'm informal when I'm around certain people. I use informal vocabulary when I'm around friends. I usually use informal vocabulary when I'm around family, but sometimes I have to go back to formal just to be respectful. And I'm very informal when I like to be funny, depending on the reaction, God willing, and even being informal when I sometimes become silly. Me. I'm very informal when it comes to a daily commute, and I have to admit to everybody, I do use a little bit of slang and foul language, but only if I get angry. I'm informal when I work out and I exercise, and of course, when I'm on vacation. Aloha, everybody. Basically, using these 2 formats of code switching, I just let loose and be myself. And so there you have it. Well, I bid you adieu now, but I hope everyone got to know how I communicate with these code switches we've been going through in the class right now. And that's how I had to offer. But before I go, I'd like to give you one more message of importance, actually. Let's go on for the course. How we use these code switchings is actually very wise and actually very perspective. We have to use them also very carefully and very precautiously, because yes, they have power, but also they can lead to big consequences that both good or bad. That whether we make enemies, whether we make a relationship with people, with good aspects of community, and basically, if we want respect for people, we have to respect language at the highest point, no matter what type it is. And to make friendships, to have respect, to have decency for people around the globe, and basically just be yourself and be nice and have kindness and show that kindness in many languages. And don't show power or respect, but show kindness and compassion for people with language. I bid you adieu, and goodbye, good night, adieu.